Tinder is experiencing a dip in paying subscribers. So in what I see as an attempt to boost their sales, especially among the female demographic, they're rolling out a new feature, a height filter.
Oh, no. No.
Now, these superficial dating apps just got even more miserable for many men all around the country. Now, here is the post that I first saw, and it has like 40 million impressions. So this was the talk of the town over on social media this weekend. Tinder's implementing a new height filter for users. The change will allow women to generally filter out men below their preferred height. Although it doesn't even mention, like, it's probably for both sexes, but women are the ones, obviously, that are going to be using this. And then this is sort of how it works. You do your age range, and then as if it's the exact importance as age, height range right below it. This is a new beta testing filter. Now, if it's any consolation, it does say preferences show people who match your vibe, but won't limit who you see. You'll still be able to match with people outside of your selection. So that you'll still be able to match with short kings, but not as many will be fed to you because you can adjust this filter. Now, if anyone is still trying to seek true love on Tinder specifically, I do have less sympathy overall. That is not the app, nor frankly has it ever been the dating app in which you actually date to marry and fall in love and all of that. Like, that's been the hookup app from the jump. I think we all know that. I would also love to know if anyone has like found love on there. If anyone watching this has gotten married via Tinder, I want to know about it because it'll give me a little bit more hope and faith back in Tinder, which I have none of at this point. One guy over on Twitter said, every single 6'+ guy I know says he's 5'11" in dating apps to avoid the height chasers. And this is sarcasm. Colin's not convinced.
Oh, he's being sarcastic?
Yeah, he's being sarcastic.
I was like, that's a joke, right? Okay, so that makes sense.
It's not even like money chasers. They're chasing the few inches, apparently, that makes all the difference when it comes to height. Another person pointed out a very interesting stat that I wanted to share. He said 75% of Tinder users are male. Only 14.5% of males are over 6 foot tall. That's a crazy stat. The majority of Tinder users are men under 6 feet tall. Seems like a bad business decision. I love how they keep referencing 6 feet because they know that like a bunch of women are just going to go and set it to like must be 6 foot minimum, which is so annoying. But going back to the only 14.5% of males are over 6 foot.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
If Adam was fully honest and we met via Tinder, he's not sure if he's 5'11" or 6 feet. I think his license says 6 feet, but I don't know. If he would have said 5'11" and I would have done that, I would have missed my tall, handsome husband because he's not as tall as some women need them to.
Here's what we need to do. What is the average height for a woman?
Is 5 feet 3.5 inches.
So she needs someone that's like a full 10 inches taller than her.
She doesn't. I wonder where that even came from. I mean, like, what is the reason that it's like, especially the arbitrary number of 6 feet? Like that is kind of this weird, like, must be that. Why? There's so many short women. You don't need the gargantuan man. Find the balance. Some of the greatest men in my life are shorter kings. So you know what? How tall am I? I think I'm 5'4". I say that because I think I'm that like 5'3.5", 5'4", but I wear lots of heels. So I can't, like, that's the other thing. I go out of my way to only wear platforms because I like the feeling of taller. I can do that as a woman though, and it's not fair because men can't. Like I do hate that. I have been suggesting just in general because it's a cool fashion thing, like boots and they have heels. Like that's a cool thing. That used to be a cool thing like in the, I don't know, 70s, 80s. We can bring that back. That's fine. Give them a little heel.
Men?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like certain cowboy boots have like a decent inch. Like there are ways. Just got to be edgy with your fashion sense. According to these stats, it is more natural for a man to be like 5'8". Also, it is more natural if you take some Balance of Nature because Balance of Nature is completely natural, 100%. With Balance of Nature fruits and veggies, there has never been a more convenient dietary supplement to ensure that you get that wide variety of fruits and veggies in every single day with 31 different whole fruit and vegetable ingredients. Balance of Nature takes fruits and vegetables, they freeze dry them, turn them into a powder, and then put them into a capsule. Then all you have to do is take your fruit and veggie capsules every day and your body knows exactly what to do with them. When I'm on the go, I don't always have time to eat a well-balanced diet, so I make sure that I'm still taking my Balance of Nature to make sure that those nutrients are still getting into my body, even if I'm not eating the most green, colorful meal that you're supposed to eat to make sure that you're getting all those nutrients. Now, if you guys want to give Balance of Nature a shot yourselves, you can go to balanceofnature.com and use promo code CONRAD for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer, plus you'll get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code CONRAD today. So get strong, get healthy. Even for the short kings out there, you know, you put on some muscle, that does wonders for the women, okay? Just saying. Also, that is a thing with getting buff that women don't really have that men do have. You know what I mean? If you physically want to be more attractive to the opposite sex, men can go out and get jacked, and then that is attractive to women. Women can't just suddenly go out and get jacked and have that be like a feature that is, you know what I mean? It's sort of more of like they do makeup and men can do muscles. That's kind of like how I see that. I'm just gonna keep reading these comments though, because the men, after this was really going viral, men just started to give their feedback to this news. One guy said they should put a bust size filter too. Let's see how many women would cry over this. I mean, again, because these apps are so horribly superficial and you take 1 second to look at a person and decide if like they're the right one or not. And I hate that whole concept, especially Tinder, because that is exactly what you do. Do they even have like other things at this point? Like Hinge or Bumble, there's a whole little like profile you get on the person and you give like answers and that kind of, so there's some kind of engagement. Isn't Tinder the one where you're just like,
Just
I think so,
photos.
yeah.
yeah, so of course it's gonna be superficial. So yeah, put a bust size filter. Two can play that game. Everyone just be horribly superficial and see how you make out finding a spouse. Another person pointed out a good point, said, wait till you see the new wave of TikTok videos of women crying and seething there are no good men on the dating apps because they only match 6'+ players. Yeah, if especially just on the jump, there's a certain level of superficial filters that you are seeing are necessary to even send a DM to someone. Yeah, it's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be, that's why these dating apps are so, I mean, people are miserable on them and it breaks my heart because of course they are, especially Tinder. I'm not surprised. But actually over on TikTok, this was one of the things that I saw just starting to take off about this new news. Tinder's implementing a height filter for women to filter out men below their preferences height. So when will they add weight filter for men to filter out women above their preferred weight? Damn! While I hate that, I also, again, it's all superficial. If they're going there, one woman said, she's like, as an overweight woman myself, I say this is fair. Honestly, the double standards are wild sometimes. Guys have the right for preferences too. Everyone can have preferences. I think that's fine. But again, it's like that idea of just not even giving the person the time of day to even be fed a photo of their face because you care so much about certain things that people can't change. Like, that's where it just gets tough. Another person said, or a remove makeup filter. Again. Women can catfish that way. Maybe men can just lie about their height. Another girl said a similar thing. She said, I'm a plus size girly. This is fair to me. There are people who are into it and people who are not. If they're not, I don't want to deal with them anyways. I mean, yeah, that does kind of help in that sense. As we're slowly starting to see Tinder, kind of burn out in a sense, I do think it's funny because they could be doing more to add features that speak to people's emotional intelligence and their character and things that actually really, truly matter for long-term love, for even just developing relationships as a whole. Yet they just go to more superficial things. That's why I think they're just the hookup app. They really are. I think the only two that I've seen statistically that are leading to marriage is like Bumble and Hinge. Those are the two that are the more successful ones. They have more details. It's not just photo, location, height, because I think that's all Tinder is. There's actually more on the other apps, and that is a good thing. It is already a battle to find good men or good women in the world, let alone just immediately cutting off a large swath of fine, eligible bachelors because they might not be the exact height number that you were looking for. I have even found in my own life that many women who were looking for love and marriage often ended up in relationships with men that were shorter than what they had expected or originally had kind of thought in their head. I think everyone has it in their head of like, okay, I want a man with dark skin and brown hair, and I get that. But again, at the end of the day, when you're starting to look for someone to really spend your life with, you start to look for other things that almost become more important in certain respects, like character, like integrity, like the things that, again, are foundational for a good relationship and a good marriage. Because at the end of the day, the women that are wife material are looking at the heart and the character of a man. It's not just some superficial hunt for a hookup. It's a search for a good man that can be depended on for a lifetime. So don't worry, short kings. You will prevail in the end with women who are truly wife material. And get off of Tinder. Just save yourself the misery in general and get off of Tinder. Thanks so much for watching today's episode. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. And last but not least, if you want more content, you can also follow me on my personal accounts, as well as our new comment section Instagram. See you guys in the comments.